Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Cryptotvplus. Every Monday morning, Cryptotvplus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain Show, only on Cryptotvplus.
This program is brought to you by OKEX, the most trusted digital asset exchange.
And keep watching Crypto TV. Don't touch that dial. Peace.
Hello and welcome to the program. This is Inside Blockchain, live from Cryptotvplus. I am Bobby Ayadike. It's another awesome Monday morning, the 20th of December 2021. Now, crypto assets and the blockchain technology sector have grown exponentially in recent years. Now, this has not gone unnoticed by the regulated financial system. Policymakers are struggling to monitor risks from this evolving sector, in which many activities are unregulated. The global crypto market capitalization peaks at an astonishing $2.5 trillion. Now, while this indicates significant economic value of the underlying technological innovations, such as the blockchain itself, it might also reflect an issue in an environment of volatile valuations. Now, on this special edition of the Inside Blockchain Show, we will be highlighting certain opinions and insights from some of the speakers, delegates, and facilitators at the just concluded Blockchain Nigeria User Group Conference tagged Betting Big on DeFi and NFTs. Now, this event was held at the Sheraton Hotels in Abuja. Now, let's take a quick commercial. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
There have been many blockchain platforms, and one of them which has recently come to the limelight is Solana. Solana is a fast, secure, and censorship-resistant blockchain. It
This program is brought to you by OKEX, the most trusted digital asset exchange.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Inside Blockchain live from Cryptotvplus. So we're still looking at key players and influential speakers, and we're trying to understand the perception towards the impact of cryptocurrency regulations as it relates to the Nigerian crypto space and, by extension, the African cryptocurrency space. Now, first of all, we would like to talk to Dr. Usman Gambo Abdullahi. He is the Director, IT Infrastructure Solutions at the National Information Technology Development Agency, or NITDA. Now, at the event, he represented the Director General and the CEO of the agency. Now, we also tried to understand or get from his own perspective the relevance of the agency in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space, specifically in Nigeria, and this is what he had to say.
So we've been working as NITDA very closely with them, and so, you know, previous events, previous conferences, we've participated in previous conferences, and we really leverage on their membership towards getting input for our regulatory instrument development. We have, with their support, developed the National Blockchain Adoption Strategy, and we are creating, at the moment, implementation strategy with their support as well. So the expectation is really, for us in NITDA, is to hear the next line of regulatory instrument that NITDA, the industry would want NITDA to come up with. So discussions, I'm sure discussions will happen, and then ideas will come. So we use those in order to come up with our regulatory instruments.
Now, still on Dr. Usman Gambo, we try to understand his perception on cryptocurrency regulations. Now, we asked him if he thinks there should be a separate body or agency in the government to handle this Herculean task, and he had this to say.
Well, you know, for me, as part of NITDA, what I would say is really, as far as we are not really looking at one aspect of the technology or the other. So cryptocurrency, for instance, is it's really focusing, on one aspect, the financial sector. But if you look at blockchain in general, the application cuts across sectors. There's no technology you will have that doesn't have the advantages and disadvantages. And if you look at that, you see the financial sector regulator came out and issued some pointers to the public that people, in terms of using cryptocurrency, they should be cautious. So those are cautionary notes from the regulator. For cryptocurrency, CBN is in a better position to talk about it. But if it is the technology in general, blockchain, that is where NITDA, comes in. So as far as, that aspect is concerned, would say that, of course, CBN, as far as cryptocurrency, would be in a better position to talk about it. If you ask me personally, my personal opinion, then that is different. But as I'm here as a representative of my CEO, my personal opinion doesn't matter.
In as much as we understand that cryptocurrency is a digital asset that is disruptive in its infrastructure, now Dr. Usman made some very strategic points when we asked him if he thinks cryptocurrency can actually replace fiat currency or if it will be used as a reserve currency. He had some very interesting things to say.
Well, replacement, in terms of replacement, it's possible that it can replace, that technology, because it's technology, if you look at the blockchain technology, it's disrupting all sectors. I mean, it has gained kind of acceptance and awareness, in the financial sector. But we seem to focus more on its application in the financial sector, because of some of the gains that we feel are there. But there are sectors, for instance, identity. The issue of identity is one critical. We can create use cases in that sector. The health sector, the transportation sector, we have challenges everywhere. So that's why, in fact, we said we need to challenge ourselves. Let us not just focus on, yes, there are use cases that are very useful, that have shown the activities and the advances of blockchain, but there are other sectors that we can, harness and make the best use of the blockchain technology. Currency all over the world, in terms of replacement, we wouldn't say that it may not replace any technology, but it will take time. It's not something that we'll say, oh, tomorrow we'll wake up and then we'll not have, the traditional currencies that we have. But it's something that may happen with time because, regulations are being developed. For instance, the CBN, even though it has done, but now there is the eNaira and it's gaining acceptance, So there are ways that, regulations can be developed so that those technologies can be harnessed and then be met for the benefit of all, as well as society. Not just benefiting individuals, but benefiting society as a whole.
Moving on to Adetayo Adesola. He is the country manager for BYBIT. BYBIT is a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, we had a brief discussion with Ade, and we also tried to understand his idea on cryptocurrency regulations. Now, we understand that he is someone who actually transitioned from media to tech. So he made some very strategic observations from the standpoint of technology to the standpoint of investments. Let's hear what he had to say.
Innovation always goes before regulation, right? So regulators have to think about protecting people, protecting interests. And so that is going to always take a slower time. But I think with the issuance of the eNaira, as well as other countries and central banks issuing CBDCs, at some point in the future, there will be a convergence between regulators and innovation. And yeah, but it might not just be as soon as we expect it to be, but it's going to happen. From the technology standpoint, the blockchain technology in itself is already something that is a game changer. Then from the investment standpoint, which is the cryptocurrency, that's going to take a slower time, but it's still something that, you know, or regulators will still have to fit in. Obviously, we already have the Bitcoin ETFs that is already trading, that was approved by SEC. So there will be a lot more financial services and products that the regulators, SECs, investment corporations will put in their system.
All right, fantastic response from Adesola. Simply remarkable. So we'll pick it up right after this commercial. Don't go nowhere.
What does cryptocurrency actually mean? Who created Bitcoin? And how secure is the blockchain technology? Well, thanks to the innovative technology of the blockchain, which was created by Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto, what couldn't be done before suddenly became quite easy for everyone to do. And to show how revolutionary the blockchain technology is,
This program is brought to you by OKEX, the most trusted digital asset exchange.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Inside Blockchain, live from Cryptotvplus. So we're still looking at the impact of cryptocurrency regulation as it concerns us in Nigeria and by extension, Africa. Whenever the topic of cryptocurrency regulation comes up, it is very important that we understand it from a legal point of view. It is in view of this that we spoke to Barino Paul. He is the legal advisor of the Blockchain Nigeria user group, and he's also a facilitator of previous events. Now, Mr. Paul, coming from a legal background, he actually made some very specific observations as it relates to cryptocurrency and other related assets built on the blockchain.
About the restriction and the restriction and regulation of cryptocurrencies and the related assets built on the blockchain, you know, definitely you expect a system to kick when something new comes, something they don't understand. You know, most of them say they don't understand the space. They say it's too technical and all of that. And definitely up till now, even the US, even the UK, you know, most nations, like as early as I can remember, they've been studying and trying to regulate the crypto space, but they've not been able to come up with something really tangible. Or will I say they are dragging their feet, and the more they drag their feet, the more the space is growing. So when it comes to those restrictions, the truth is that those restrictions, they hardly work when it comes to the blockchain. You know, China has tried severally to like ban this thing, to ban cryptocurrencies, but it's been almost like so difficult for them. US tried it and they couldn't. You know, even India now is now trying to create a regulation that we actually monitor the space. When it comes to regulation, the regulator should be thinking of how to actually monitor the space and not how to kill it, because you can't kill it. The blockchain has come to stay, and you can't actually destroy the space. No, it will continue to stay. So when these regulators are coming, they should look at actually directing it, creating boundaries, ensuring that the space is not taken advantage of by yes, you understand, you know, that it's actually used to legitimate ends, to like improve the society.
Still with Mr. Barino Paul, we also went a bit further to get his perspective on the eNaira being a cryptocurrency, because the Central Bank of Nigeria actually made some very specific pronouncements by saying that the eNaira, which is actually built on a private blockchain, is not a cryptocurrency. Let's hear Paul.
I won't say for sure if the eNaira is a cryptocurrency until we all agree as to what a cryptocurrency is. You know, for me, I feel the cryptocurrency is actually an asset built on the blockchain and is cryptographically secured. If we are to go strictly by that particular definition, we all agree that the eNaira is a cryptocurrency, because blockchain doesn't necessarily has to be distributed or public. We have the private blockchain, we have the hybrid that has both the future of private and a public blockchain. You understand? So even if an asset is built on a public blockchain, and we all agree that a cryptocurrency is an asset built on a blockchain and is cryptographically secured, then whatever kind of blockchain, whether private, hybrid, or public, as far as it's built on the blockchain and cryptographically secure, we can say an asset is a cryptocurrency. However, if in defining cryptocurrency, we now say that it is an asset built on a blockchain that is cryptographically secured and decentralized, you know, then the eNaira will not qualify as a cryptocurrency. If decentralization is actually one of the core definition in a cryptocurrency, then we will say that eNaira is not a cryptocurrency. But that's for us to determine in the long time when we come to the agreement, because the cryptocurrency space is still developing. Many things are being created every day. We are even encouraging corporations to take advantage of the blockchain and build their solutions and all of that on blockchains like private blockchain or the hybrid or all of that. And if this person is built on the blockchain and create whatever, would we say that because it's not decentralized, it's not a cryptocurrency? Those are arguments we need to resolve before we come to the final conclusion as to the nature of eNaira or any other CBDC.
Moving on, we also spoke to Davidson Oturu. He is also a legal practitioner and a legal advisor as well. Now, we asked Mr. Davidson to shed some light from his own point of view on cryptocurrency regulations. Let's listen to what David had to say.
So I always try not to get into trouble when speaking around this, right? I feel that some issues that the regulators have with cryptocurrency and blockchain generally, it comes from a place of lacking understanding. And I understand that the regulators always want to be in charge of situations, right? But innovation is always ahead of regulation, and that's one thing that they need to understand. I feel that getting the right people in place within those organizations will go a long way. Take, for instance, the CBN. When you hear some of them speak, you can clearly identify that these ones have little or no understanding around blockchain, crypto assets, and virtual assets. Now, it would make more sense having people who are developers or people who have taken out time to fully understand the ecosystem heading those departments. That way it's easier because they'll be able to guide, the regulator on what needs to be done in that space. Is regulation needed? Definitely it's needed. But there's what we call friendly regulations. That is regulations that enable as opposed to stifling. And maybe this is a good time to plug the Nigerian Startup Bill, which my firm has been in charge of drafting, and I've actually led that drafting process. It's a bill that could actually be a game changer, not just for the blockchain ecosystem, but the startup space in general, because it's something that would bring in the government, right, and have the private sector as well, and together they can collaborate on creating the right types of regulations to take the ecosystem forward.
Now, in as much as we understand that there are bad players in every sector, DeFi, cryptocurrency, traditional financial system, but in recent times we've seen bad players actually painting a very bad picture of the cryptocurrency space in a more global perspective. So Davidson made a very important observation. Let's hear him out.
So I think that for any system that is novel and innovative, there will always be the bad eggs, right? And you would always have flaws in the system. Now, the fact that you have hackers and some of those things doesn't mean that the system is bad, or doesn't mean that it should be scrapped, because take a look around you now. Even fiat gets hacked regularly. I mean, people hack into bank accounts, people hack into online systems that don't even involve the blockchain or cryptocurrency. So you don't then say, somebody hacked into my Facebook account, therefore close down Facebook. I mean, that, you know, so people need to be able to understand that for things that are in their teething stage, you know, that are starting out, you would have this sort of errors. I think the practitioners in the sector now need to be able to close ranks, right? Get the right type of systems in place. People get excited, oh, I'm a developer, you know, I can do this, I can do that, and then they build something that has loopholes all around it. So I think being able to understand that the fact that you've learned how to code, you know, or how to work on the blockchain doesn't mean that you can now create something that is sustainable. Get the right experts and those that have gone ahead of you, and then work with cybersecurity experts as well, people that understand data protection and how to manage these systems, so that you have a rock-tight platform at the end of the day.
So we'll pick it up right after this commercial. Don't go nowhere.
So the Polygon Matic is a blockchain that was launched in 2017 by these three people: Yanti Kanani, Sandeep Naiwal, and Anira Arjun. So what is the Polygon Matic blockchain all about? The Polygon is a protocol and a framework that is designed for building and connecting Ethereum-compatible blockchain networks, aggregating scalable solutions.
This program is brought to you by OKEX, the most trusted digital asset exchange.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Inside Blockchain, live from Cryptotvplus. We're still here trying to get candid opinions and relevant insights from delegates, speakers, and facilitators at the previously concluded Blockchain Nigeria User Group event held in Abuja. Now, we met with Daniel Nicholas. He is the Chief Executive Officer of FarmBit. He recently secured a partnership with this Space Protocol and raised a whopping $240,000 in seed from seed investors. Now, Daniel actually believes that regulation will sanitize the cryptocurrency markets and also boost adoption. Let's take a look at what he said.
Regulations are necessary. We all have regulations, even for our personal life, right? So looking at the crypto space, it needs to be regulated. Because if you leave it out there unregulated, of course, even right now, we get a lot of experiences. Like, you can't see the traditional system just having news that $50 million have been hacked from a system. It's not possible. You can't find that. They will trace where it's coming from. So this is what regulation is coming to do for the space. It will actually clean up all of these messes, and it will make it better, and it will accelerate adoption. Because there are billions of investors who are just waiting for this regulation. As soon as the space is clear and they are sure that regulation is intact, they will jump into the crypto space, which is what we want, the early adopters, right? We want these guys to come in and then let's have a world ruled with crypto and all of that. So regulations are necessary, and we are expecting them even sooner than other people are expecting it right now. We're really expecting them sooner.
And finally, it is very important that we understand cryptocurrency regulation from a very pragmatic point of view. And it's in view of this that we spoke to Mr. Vitcor Olorunfemi, the Brand and Communications Manager at Bantu Blockchain Foundation. Now, Mr. Vitcor believes that cryptocurrency regulation will play a very vital role in the Nigerian crypto space.
Everybody probably already knows technology always goes ahead, and then regulation comes right after it. Regulation is always trying to play catch up, because especially at this kind of time, exponential technologies are moving and expanding at an increased, never before seen pace. All right, so it's natural for you to find regulators taking a kind of combative approach, based on the fear of the unknown, but eventually they always come around. So what I can say is, rather than people just crying about regulators are coming after us at this, they're doing that, they need to actively get on a roundtable in formal environments, not just in the formal ways, to educate these people, right? Educate them. Don't make an enemy of them, because otherwise you will not have their voices. You will not be able to drum the message into their heads, if I can use that phrase loosely, right? So education, letting them know. Many of people oppose this because of the fear of the unknown. They do not know what's going to happen. They feel like maybe their jobs are threatened, their future is threatened. But if you can let them know that, look, this has come to enable and empower you, as against to threaten your jobs, then they start thinking, okay, maybe I should get onto this thing early. Look at what's happening in the United States. Initially, they were all very opposed and everything. But did you watch the last hearing? The last hearing where you had the likes of SBF, Brooks, and did you see that most of them were now a bit friendly? Oh, can you do this? Oh, we don't want to be inhibitive. Oh, what's happening? You mean that our businesses are moving to Europe because of our prohibitive approach? Okay, what can we do better? That's what's happening. The politicians are starting to see that, look, they are losing business because of their particular approach. So what do they need to do better? Nigeria will lose businesses if they keep, having a prohibitive stance. And I know that our regulators are smart enough. They wouldn't want this kind of brain drain to keep happening. So eventually they will come around. Maybe they're already coming around and we don't know because they're not in the room where it happens. But I'm sure that conversations are happening to ensure that these people, to ensure that they can create the right regulatory environment to support businesses in this particular space. Nigeria will still be that company, that will spearhead, this Web3 evolution for Africa. I strongly believe that. I've seen so many projects, even being here today, I've seen so many projects, started by Africans, specifically Nigerians, that gives me confidence to know that, look, in this Web3 space, all that we just need to blow first. You supersede and all the foreign projects you're hearing. You will build creative stuff. Look at M-Pesa, as simple as it is. See how revolutionary it was. Because when Africans want to build, they don't build with legacy baggage. Oh, this is the technology, we build this technology on this technology. No, Africans come and say, what is the problem right now? Okay, this is how we're going to solve it with what is available. Final illustration. I used to, I've seen Nigerians complain about, you send money from Stanbic to Sterling and say, 30 minutes, my money took 30 minutes. This guy did not scam me until I started traveling out and I started seeing that, in many so-called advanced countries, some international transfers will take 3 days. Interbank transfers will take 3 days to settle. Then I realized that we're being spoiled in Nigeria. Why? Why is it taking 30 minutes or less, or 5 minutes in Nigeria, but taking 3 days in more advanced countries? Because Nigeria has just come and has looked at the problem and has just cut through all the noise and said the solution is for here and now. So that is how I feel Africans are going to adopt, technology. And that's why Bantu is here. We provided an infrastructure to allow people now to be able to build freely. So forget about all the crazy costs that you're incurring on many other chains. We like things very fast in Africa as well. Our blockchain has that speed element in it, has that reliability element. But not only that, we are also tying up all the financial institutions together in Africa to ensure that when you build on this platform, you're building on something that can give you wings to fly. Right, so that is what Bantu is doing. So again, I know that I digress from your question about regulators. Trust me, regulators will come around. They will eventually come around. That's what always happens. They cannot for so long, because when there's mass adoption, people do not want to lose the people's goodwill. Regulators don't want to lose the goodwill of the people. They want to do what will, they want what will make them friendly to the people. So naturally, they will follow. They will follow. If the people say they want it, and it's not going to bring down the nation, then naturally they will follow.
And that's all for now. Join us next week as we take a much more closer look at this same topic, the impact of cryptocurrency regulations. Thank you for joining us on the show. And that will be all on today's program. You can get more market updates and all the happenings captured within the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency on our website, cryptotvplus.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter at Cryptotvplus to get daily info on our programs. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, CryptoTV+, for more amazing content. Today's edition of the Inside Blockchain Show is brought to you by OKX, the leading innovative cryptocurrency exchange that offers advanced financial services. Thank you for staying with us. I am BYBIT. See you next week.
This program is brought to you by OKX, the most trusted digital asset exchange.